Well, welcome to the intuitive call for April 2023. I really have to stop and think about what month we're in. It's just all going very quickly. So this month was kind of interesting when I did the reading because the first thing I kind of saw was usually I just kind of sweep in and get the information for the month, but this was I saw it more as like cycles. So there was a cycle that went to the middle of May, and then there was another cycle that started in May that went on through, I forget what it was, maybe, September. And so for whatever reason, we want to be aware that there are, that this is a cycle. There's something at play here that's longer than just the month's energy. I'm going to jump to the end of the reading where I talked about that cycle. And what I got was that this is a cycle of growth and evolution. And our part in this individually is to be vulnerable and open our hearts and to express care, hope, kindness, and love, and also to take that in. So definitely the first part of this the first cycle is all about love. And I know that can be a very general kind of a thought, oh, love. Okay, well, that's a very big topic. But I really, what I got is this is about first of all aspects of love. So whether it's a relationship or friendship or compassion, connection. So any way that you look at love and the many facets of that, that's what is that we need to be paying attention to right now. So we want to be looking at anything that's in our field that is not aligned with love. Okay, so if there are relationships or aspects of a relationship that are not loving or that we're not able to be loving in, we need to look at that. If they're basically, a lot of times with relationships, it's like, am I the person that I want to be in this relationship with this person? It's not even so much about the other person as who am I in this relationship. And I think that's what we're talking about here is all the situations in our life or in our lives. Are we able to be, and are we being the person that we want to be in those situations? And it's not so much that we need to change as for change. We don't have to do all the work, but it's if these aren't the right situations for us, or if the situations need to change, if the people that we're with need to change. I think it's really, just continually aligning and putting ourselves into the right situation so that we can fully be the loving beings that we want to be. And so, of course, a lot of that has to do with vulnerability. And, I think that's the hardest part of all of this when we talk about love is being willing to be vulnerable, letting our defenses down in the right circumstances. We're not just across the board going to say, oh, this isn't 1960s people. It's where there was a lovely reality then, but this is a different reality. I'm not talking about that free love. I'm talking about the being willing to let people in, to let ourselves be moved by love, by connection, by other people. So this is why I think it's so important to be putting ourselves in the right circumstances, because if we're in the wrong circumstances, it's difficult to be vulnerable. Okay, so if we're in circumstances that aren't aligned with love, then we can't really be open and vulnerable the way that we're being asked to be in this cycle. I was wondering if there was, some massive solar flares or something that were happening this month, because what I saw was like this pulse that was happening, and the pulse just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So it was kind of like at first, life or love taps on the door, and then it sort of bangs on the door if we don't open it. And then it sort of beats on the door if we don't open it. And then it breaks the door down. So there's definitely an energy here that wants us to shift and grow and evolve. And I don't think it's going to leave us alone. So better to be in the flow and be going with what's being asked of us and encouraged in us, which is more love, more kindness, more connection. And if we resist that, it's just going to, anytime we resist something that wants to change, it just gets more and more uncomfortable. So we don't want to be uncomfortable. We want to voluntarily make these changes. So what else? Yeah, I wrote in here, love is wholeness. It's about removing the barriers that keep us separate. And then I posed some questions which we can talk about. Where in your life have you been holding yourself back from love? And I think this is a question that really takes some honesty in us. And it's going to be different for everybody, but I think it's based on experiences that we've had in the past where we've learned to protect ourselves. So where in your life have you been holding yourself back from love, from connection, from wholeness, from unity? And then to remember that whatever happened in the past, we certainly weren't the people that we are now. We've learned, we've grown, we're much more capable of protecting ourselves in more mature ways. We can walk away, we can say no, we can say this isn't a fit for me, I need to think about this. Whatever it is, we have a lot more control over our circumstances, so we can risk a little bit more to be open. So that's the message. Love, love, love. Get on the love train, because the love train's going this month and it's going to go into next month, right? Get on the love train. That's the message, and ride it all the way. And it's got to be going someplace good. So have a great month, and I'll see you next month.